All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Tanvi Taneja. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses world's largest financial technology festival, FinTech, in Singapore. Says FinTech is a celebration of the belief in the spirit of innovation and power of technology. ISRO to launch communication satellite GSAT-29 from Sriharikota this evening. India International Trade Fair begins today at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Sri Lankan Parliament meets today after Supreme Court stays President's order dissolving the House. United Kingdom and European Union reach a draft agreement on Brexit. And 4-day Chhath Puja concludes with devotees offering prayers to the rising sun. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the world's largest financial technology festival, FinTech, in Singapore this morning. Addressing the gathering, Mr. Modi said, FinTech is a celebration of the belief in the spirit of innovation and power of technology.
FinTech festival is also a celebration of belief. Belief in the spirit of innovation and the power of imagination. Belief in the energy of youth and the passion for change. Belief in making the world a better place. And it is no surprise that in just its third year, this festival is already the world's largest festival.
The Prime Minister said technology is creating boundless opportunities to transform lives.
To the youth of India, with its eyes firmly fixed to the future, it is an acknowledgement of the financial revolution sweeping through India and transforming the lives of 1.3 billion people. This is an event of finance and technology, and it is also a festival.
Mr. Modi said it is defining competitiveness and power in the new world. He said it is a great honor to be the first head of government to deliver his address at Singapore in the event. He said it is an acknowledgement of the financial revolution sweeping through India and transforming the lives of 1.3 billion people. Mr. Modi said,
India and Singapore are also working to connect Indian and ASEAN small and medium enterprises anchored on an Indian platform and expand it globally. Friends, I've heard of an advice going around in startup circles to increase your venture capital or VC functioning of 10%.
About 30,000 people attended the keynote address of Mr. Modi at this festival. The Prime Minister arrived in Singapore this morning on a 2-day visit to attend the East Asia Summit, ASEAN-India Informal Meet and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP Summit. Prime Minister Modi will also attend the RCEP Summit to review the progress made on the negotiations to finalize the proposed free trade agreement. Mr. Modi will also hold several bilateral meetings today. He will hold talks with US Vice President Mike Pence and Prime Ministers of Singapore, Australia and Thailand. Indian Space Research Organisation will launch the communication satellite GSAT-29 this evening from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. The ISRO's heaviest ever launch vehicle, GSLV Mark III, is set to inject the satellite into a geostationary transfer orbit after its liftoff at 5:08 p.m. The countdown for the launch started at 2:50 p.m. yesterday and is progressing smoothly. The satellite, GSAT-29, has high throughput communication transponders in the Ka and Ku bands. It can augment high-speed data transfer in India's far-flung and remote areas. It weighs 3,423 kgs during liftoff and has an operational life of over 10 years. We have a report from our correspondent.
The ISRO scientists are confidently going ahead with the crucial launch today as the cyclone Gaja has moved away from Sriharikota region. The mission assumes significance as its success would qualify the National Space Agency's 5th generation launch vehicle GSLV Mark III for regular launches of 4 ton class payloads. It is also set to provide a further fillip to the prestigious Chandrayaan-2 mission that is being planned early next year. The satellite GSAT-29 that is to be injected into the preparatory orbit today would help increase the speed and quantum of data transfer, paving way for high-speed communication even in remotest parts of the country. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Today is the last day for withdrawal of nomination papers for the assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram. Both the states will go to polls on the 28th of this month. In Madhya Pradesh, full bench of the Election Commission, headed by Chief Election Commissioner O.P. Rawat, during its second day of the state, will review the poll preparation in the remaining 33 districts. Our correspondent reports that the poll body yesterday held meetings over election preparations in 18 districts and expressed satisfaction over these arrangements. Campaigning for second phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh has reached its peak. Our correspondent reports that 72 constituencies will go to polls in this phase on the 20th of this month.
The BJP, Congress and other political parties are putting in their best of efforts to canvass support to their respective candidates. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and actress Hema Malini are scheduled to address election meetings at various places to seek support for BJP candidates. While Congress President Rahul Gandhi, who is on a 2-day visit to Chhattisgarh, will also hold the public meetings at Korba, Bilaspur, Kavardha and Bhilai to canvass for his party candidates today. Total 1,148 candidates are testing their electoral fortunes in the second phase. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. The 38th India International Trade Fair will begin at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi today. This year the theme of the fair is Rural Enterprises in India. Afghanistan is the partner country, while Nepal will be the focus country. Jharkhand is participating as a partner state in the event. Our correspondent reports that around 800 participants from different states and government departments, domestic and international companies are taking part to showcase their products during the 14-day annual event.
Around 800 participants from domestic and international companies are taking part in the event to showcase their products. Countries including China, Hong Kong, Iran, Myanmar, South Africa, South Korea and Thailand are participating in the fair. The first 4 days of the fair will be reserved for the business visitors, for which the entry ticket will be 500 rupees per person. For general public, the fair will open from 18th of this month. The entry ticket will be 60 rupees for adults and 40 rupees for children, while during weekend and public holiday, the price of the ticket will be 120 rupees for adults and 60 rupees for children. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
The Prime Minister Kaushal Vikas Yojana is imparting skills to millions of youths to prepare them for the job market. It has enabled more than 10 lakh youths to secure jobs in industry, and a large number of people are undergoing training at about 8,500 training centres across the country. Several youths in Tuticorin have regained confidence in themselves due to the skill development scheme. Here is a ground report from our Chennai correspondent.
Mere theoretical knowledge is not always helpful for the youth to find jobs and stand on their own. Job markets demand that they have to be employable with necessary skills. The Prime Minister's Kaushal Vikas Yojana aims at bridging the gap between the demand for skilled workforce and the availability of trained youth. A beneficiary of the scheme, Ms. Eeswari from Varthagarettipatti of Tuticorin district in Tamil Nadu says,
PMKV scheme
Under the PMKV scheme, I got a good training in tailoring, though I did not have prior knowledge of it. Now I am confident of even teaching others in the trade. After the training, I joined hands with 4 other friends and started taking orders to stitch churidar and other ready-made items.
Trainings are being held in different sectors like apparel, hospitality, gems and jewelry, IT-enabled services and healthcare, to name a few. India has a demographic advantage of having more youth than even the total population of many other countries. The PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana simply aims at making them a global workforce. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
In international news, in Sri Lanka, Parliament has been convened today following the Supreme Court's decision to stay the President's Gazette for dissolution of Parliament and holding of early elections. The three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice gave its ruling yesterday on petitions against President Maithripala Sirisena's decision. The court has put injunction on the Presidential Gazette till 7th of December and will hold further hearings from 5th of December. United Kingdom and European Union negotiators have reached a framework Brexit agreement. The draft pact will be examined by the British Cabinet at an emergency meeting this afternoon. Prime Minister Theresa May's office said in London that the Cabinet will meet to consider the draft agreement, and the negotiating teams have reached in Brussels to decide the next steps. Back home, the 4-day celebrations of the Chhath Puja conclude this morning with the offering of prayers to the rising sun in different parts of the country. After offering prayers to the sun god, devotees broke their 36-hour fast and prasad was distributed among the people. Our Patna correspondent has the details of the celebrations in Bihar.
Devotees paid oblation to rising sun with thekua, seasonal fruits and other puja materials. Lakhs of devotees paid offering to the sun god on the banks of ponds and water reservoirs in Mithilanchal areas, which include Darbhanga, Madhubani and Sitamarhi districts of the state. A large number of devotees made special offerings at various sun temples, including the Dev in Aurangabad, Badgaon in Nalanda, and Ulad Sun Temple in Patna district. Krishna Kumar Lal, AIR News, Patna.
As the cyclonic storm Gaja is steadily approaching the Tamil Nadu shores, weather officials have forecast rainfall at many places in north coastal Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and its adjoining districts from this evening. Other places are expected to get rain on the day of the cyclone's landfall tomorrow, with the possibility of heavy to very heavy rain at isolated places. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Tanvi. The Supreme Court agreeing to hear review petitions on its September judgment that allowed women of all ages to enter the Sabrimala temple in Kerala gets top billing across several newspapers this morning. Supreme Court will review its Sabrimala order, headlines the Hindustan Times. The paper says, entry of women not restricted as court refuses to grant stay, but priests, protectors celebrate. The Hindu calls it a win-win outcome for both the Kerala government and the Sangh Parivar outfits. The Dassault Aviation CEO coming out in the defense of the Modi government over the Rafale deal also gets major traction in the papers. Dassault's clean sheet to PM, headlines the Statesman. The Indian Express highlights, CEO of Dassault counters Rahul. I don't lie. New Rafale 9% cheaper. Flipkart CEO Benny Bansal quitting over allegations of personal misconduct is also highlighted by most dailies. Flipkart promoter quits after personal misconduct probe, headlines the Times of India. In a sign that the people of Chhattisgarh chose the ballot over the fear of bullets, the Times of India highlights record 76% vote in Chhattisgarh Maoist areas. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey visiting India on his maiden visit also gets wide coverage. PM Modi gave me ideas for Twitter, says Dorsey. Headlines the DNA. Government asks Twitter to help crack accounts, writes the Hindu. Under the caption Misinformation Menace, the Hindustan Times writes, vernacular social media platforms new hotbed for fake news explosion. From lies to hate speech, platforms like ShareChat and Hello face the same issues for which WhatsApp, Twitter are facing scrutiny, adds the Daily. And finally, analyzing the recently released data of the 2001 census, the Times of India writes, Hindi Bengali speakers least multilingual groups in India. And with that, it's back to you, Tanvi.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses world's largest financial technology festival, FinTech, in Singapore. Says FinTech is a celebration of the belief in the spirit of innovation and power of technology. ISRO to launch communication satellite GSAT-29 from Sriharikota this evening. India International Trade Fair begins today at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Sri Lankan Parliament meets today after Supreme Court stays President's order dissolving the House. United Kingdom and European Union reach a draft agreement on Brexit, and 4-day Chhath Puja concludes with devotees offering prayers to the rising sun. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.